We want to make sure from Koki to Konabada becomes our modern PNG at the very earliest for business and commerce settles in our nation's capital. In modern PNG, unit facilities, unit entertainment, we are one step away from being admitted into the ASEAN family of nations. I want to give you fullest assurance you are coming into a growth economy and not a stagnant economy. Papua New Guinea stands ready to harness from the growth that is taking place in Asia as we speak. My generation of leadership today are in haste to modernize PNG at the very earliest. Whether you travel from south to north or you travel from east to west, PNG is in the heart of it. The economic combustion in Asia will be fired up and will run on full throttle in the next 10, 15, 20 years going forward. Papua New Guinea stands ready to harness from the growth that is taking place in Asia as we speak. And closer to home in the Southeast Asian economies, I want to commend the work of Minister Tsenko. We are one step away from being admitted into the ASEAN family of nations. In that ASEAN family of nations, that's almost 5 to 10% of global GDP, and growth will take place. That is where trade, people, movement is taking place. And we want to secure our country, and especially our children, from today going forward to participate in growth that is taking place in our global neighborhood. He belongs to the generation of modern Papua New Guinean children. We want to develop PNG so that they call PNG their home, they're proud, and they live in modern PNG. What's wrong with giving modern life to them ASAP and not deferring that modern life 10, 15, 20 years or to the next generation? My generation of leadership today are in haste to modernize PNG at the very earliest without trading off our indigenous identity, without giving away our culture, our people, our environment, but at the same time put on a fast-paced growth for modern PNG. And in modern PNG, unit facilities, unit entertainment, the country to have all manners of amenity for citizens and visitors to enjoy living in our country. And there can be no better place to start the growth than in Port Moresby City alone. Port Moresby City is traditionally, in partnership with the Motu Koita people, has been the traditional hub of government residents and commercial residents. In case some of you have missed my speech at the United Nations, I did indicate to the world that from this time on in the next 20 years, we want to migrate from not just a raw resource-based economy, but to a manufacturing-based economy. First and foremost, to migrate from our export of raw resources to having them finished in our own country and to make that migration. When I took over the economy in 2019, we were a 79 billion kina economy. If all things go on schedule, by the end of this year, we will be a 122 billion kina economy. By next year, we'll be a 130 billion kina economy. By 2026 and 2027, we'll be a 150 billion kina economy. So for those who choose to invest in this sort of investment in PNG, I want to give you fullest assurance you are coming into a growth economy and not a stagnant economy. You invest the same amount of dollar in Australia, your return of investment is 30 plus years. You invest the same amount of dollar in China, your return of investment is about 20 years. You invest the same amount of dollar in PNG right now, the return on investment is within 12 years. That is the market we are trying to propel for our country going forward. Our government has serious responsibility to fix the law and justice sector, especially law and order. We have elevated law and order to the #1 ranked priority for the next few years going forward. We're working in education sector to make sure relevant, competent education skills, not just knowledge, but skills, is dispensed so that you can have appropriate worker at your disposal in our own local economy. Work with the Australian labour mobility now today. We hope to engage them in appropriate skilling so they are competent to work here and work international. We're also working with our health sector, both public health and private health, to make sure that the health sector is robust to capture a growing number of visits as well as our local population needs. We're working with a court system to restructure court. Restructure is going on as I speak. We're putting in between National Court and Supreme Court an appeals court, elevating Supreme Court to a Section 18, Section 19 reference court, giving appeals court in between National Court. All this are work going on to modernize PNG. But it will be in vain if we don't have modern facilities to anchor local population as well as visitors' need. We want to make sure from Koki to Konabada becomes our modern PNG at the very earliest for business and commerce settles in our nation's capital. Our second hub in modern Port Moresby or NCD would be Waigani Precinct. That will become the seat of government. So two of these will take off at the very earliest. The downtown here becomes a hub of commerce and business, and Waigani becomes a seat of government. They'll be modernized at the very earliest, and looking forward to these developments here, associated with the amazing city conversations in the nation's capital, and from Koki to Konabada, working with Motu Koita, work with NCD, we can make it come to life, truly reflecting modern Papua New Guinea's aspirations and a bridge between past, today, and future, as well as placing ourselves in a family of nations that is truly modernized with carrying our culture with us. God bless everyone. I look forward to this project achieving full maturity, not just the casino precinct, but the entire full ambit of development that is taking place here. Someone asked me, why heading that place today? Because I'm on my way out to a remote village in Pomio. I'll be spending the weekend in Pomio. And I said, 30 years ago when I came into Port Moresby, or 35 years ago, Vision City was a barren grassland. Vision City was a barren grassland. I have my views on certain investors in our country. I have my views on certain people who associate with certain politicians. But as Prime Minister today, I cannot have my personal views stand in the way of national progress and national development. The Vision City was a barren grassland before, and today is a hub of economic activities, spin-offs being fed to SMEs like taxi drivers, to SMEs like barber shops, to SMEs like retail shops in the heart of Port Moresby, that I am sure certainly this place can go 10 steps higher than Vision City, really moving PNG to the place where it can proudly say it has been modernized in a family of nations. I offer nothing but commiserations and congratulations. I look forward to every step of the way, and if there are any statutory requirements that need to be fulfilled, I request when I activate all instruments of government